Hello, I'm Alan Davies. Welcome to As Yet Untitled. This is the show where there is no agenda, nothing is prepared, don't really have any questions or anything. We just try and come up with a title for the show. It's a limited ambition, and there it is. I can't manage it on my own, so please really welcome my guests. Hello, welcome. So let me just go around and introduce you all. This is Angela Barnes. Angela is a ichthyophobic who once sang the Archer's theme to a dying man. Angela Barnes is here. Michael Ball is here. Michael Ball, it says here, offered up Cher's Nunny live on ITV and is wary of backing singers with minor injuries. Michael Ball is... Ross Noble, welcome back, Ross Noble.
Hello.
Ross Noble was nearly killed on a World War I battlefield.
That's correct.
That's good to hear. Janet Street Porter, of Janet Street Porter's many achievements, she was once the winner of third prize for mixed vegetables at the Nidderdale Agricultural Show. Do you mind if we get that out of the way first?
They weren't cooked, Alan.
No.
They were ones that I'd grown,
Okay.
I'd nurtured, I'd talked to, and then I arranged them in a basket.
And despite that...
I arranged them in a basket called a trug.
Is it kind of a low, shallow, rectangular?
Yeah, you've obviously got a trug or two back at home.
I've seen them.
And what do you talk to these vegetables about?
I'll tell them to shape up and fucking well grow. I know what Prince Charles says.
She's like that in the bedroom as well.
Oh, my no!
Yeah.
So can you tell me what made you go for Yorkshire Dales for your...
I love it. I love walking there, and I've got my vegetables, and I've got my garden.
Nice.
And it's very nice and quiet. Apart from all the farmers on their quad bikes, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't actually round up sheep anymore on foot.
He's got land, right? He's got
Have
land.
you got land?
And he is one of the sods on the quad bike that drives everyone.
Do you just go up and down all day? What's happened to your arse if you don't walk around and make
What's happened to your arse?
Yeah, because...
You're asking me what's happened to my
Yeah,
arse.
Ross, I want to know...
We're looking for a title for the show, so bear that one in mind.
What a man does on his estate is entirely up to me.
I bet your arse is like Joan Collins, all withered and got no muscles in it.
Leave Joan out of it.
Oh, we're libel lawyers already.
Do you mean my arse is like Joan Collins as a whole, or Joan Collins as arse?
But, you know, elderly people, their bums just shrivel up and have no muscles in them. But yours is probably like that because farmers and landowners used to walk around inspecting their land. Now you sit on your quad bike,
No,
don't you?
now I shoot at ramblers. That's what I do.
Have you got public right of way
I
across
do.
your land?
I have a bridle way, and they wander up there with their little firmness.
I used to think a bridal way was the way to church for brides.
Well, I do rent it out at the weekends. Yeah, for training brides.
When they go over, do they have a stick in each hand?
Oh, stick in each hand.
What's that about?
For God's sake.
Why? I hate that.
We live in Hampstead, and on Hampstead Heath, you see people going...
No, they're doing something different.
Oh,
They ain't sticks.
no wonder they look so shifty when they're extending it. Yeah. But I mean, they're going up from Belsize Park Tube with the sticks.
I know.
Do you take issue with it? Put your sticks away, you can walk.
I've shouted at them before now.
Because they're not leaning on them or anything.
Yeah, I don't believe in all that equipment. It's not necessary. But I wouldn't like to cross your land if you're going up and down your quad bike.
I don't ride quad bikes. I ride proper motorbikes.
All right, but you don't like ramblers either.
They're just whinging about you. You're on my land complaining about me.
No, I'm on my right of way.
I never thought I'd hear Ross Noble going, "You're on my land." That's my day, mate.
That's all I do all day long. That's the great thing about having land. I literally walk around going, "You're on my land!" Like that.
Yeah, Ross, but that land's not your land, it's our land.
Oh, here we go.
Right of way
But
belongs to everybody in Britain.
Is it properly delineated so you know when you're on, when you're off? Can people stray?
Yeah, but it's me that has to pay to have all the trees cut back. So,
Why?
in many ways, well, because, it's my land, isn't it?
He has to preserve the bridle way.
Yeah, so it's
So
your
she can get
duty.
to
Your
church.
duty is actually to keep
I
it going.
didn't realise I was coming on Country File.
Am I the only person here who doesn't have land?
And also, what's brilliant is this should be on Country File. Should just be you and me.
Yeah,
on-
arguing about rambling.
Yeah, me just shooting at you, going, what are you doing? I'm there on your eye on this.
Have you got a gun? Have you got a shotgun?
Shall we move on?
There's two sides to him. I had no idea it was like that.
I bought a compound bow.
A bow and arrow?
A bow and arrow,
Like a
yeah.
crossbow?
Here's the
Like
thing,
in Walking
right?
Dead?
Yeah, exactly.
Can I have a lens?
Of course you can. Not only can you have a lens.
Have you got
right?
land, Michael?
Sorry.
You know what I'm going to do after the show, right?
Yeah.
This is going to happen. You're going to come to my land, right? I've got the compound bow.
And
right?
I can go. I don't have to go bridle way. I can go up the drive.
I'm going to have velvet barbed wire that you can come around.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I'd love for my neighbours just to be, because I'm always up to stuff on my land. I'd love
Like
the fact-
what?
Well, I'll get to that.
Back to the
It
crossbow.
would
Crossbow.
be
Crossbow.
amazing. I would love it if in the local pub people just went, "You see what Nova's up to? He's down there with a crossbow and Michael Ball." That'd be the best story ever.
You know, in the film, have you seen the film Brazil?
Yes.
One of the nightmare visions of the future in Brazil is that when you go on a road out of the city and you're thinking it's going to be open vistas and countryside, they've got advertising hoarding at 20 foot high without a gap in between all the way on every road between all the cities. It's absolutely awful. That's a good idea for you, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Either side of the bridle way.
Yes, your latest tour.
Just tour DVDs.
DVD.
Like North Korea have, so South Korea can't see in.
Yeah, like a DMZ.
Yeah, my friend
Sadly.
Michael's got a theory that it's like Disneyland back there, really, and they just don't want anyone else to have as much fun.
Yeah, it's well good.
sadly, area of outstanding natural beauty. I've thought of that.
My house
But,
is in an outstanding area of natural beauty as well, and I certainly
leave
do not
it.
shout at ramblers.
Okay. Well, I don't need to, because now I'll just go, "Michael!" and they'll be up the street. Like that.
And I would.
We'll go like that. It'd be like Walking Dead. Walkers!
I want to ask you, because I've got you here, you told me a story a long time ago about when you were touring and your normal sport app wasn't available and they brought in a local lad.
Okay. So I'm
just
doing
for me?
This is for him in Harrogate, and I'm doing this, and it's a charity gig. And they said, we've got a local. I'm going to call. It's not his real name. Tommy Twinkle. I'm going to call him. That is not. That is not the name of this comedian. Anyway, I didn't know this bloke, so I'm talking to him, and he goes, "You don't need to worry. I know this crowd. I'm absolutely on it. I'll get them warm for you. They're going to love it." I said, "That's really encouraging to know." A couple of things though. I don't want you to be sexist. I don't want you to use bad language, and I don't want you to do anything a bit dodgy and rude. Is that all right? And slag people. I said, "You can trust me. I know they're just you're in safe hands." So I'm going,
I think I know who it was.
That's our favourite line.
here you're in safe
hands.
So I'm getting ready for my gig, and I thought I'm going to have to watch the beginning of this. So I go down, and he's got his boombox because he's got his intro music, and he goes, "Are you ready, Mike?" And I'm like, "Michael." Here we go, Pep. And he puts it on. Da, 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, will you give a big Harrogate welcome to the famous Mr. Tommy Twinkle? Da, da, da. And on he goes in. The first things out of his mouth is, "Well, fuck me, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck me, what a world we live in. You can get a man on the moon. You can't get one on Martina Navratilova." First thing.
Did it get a laugh?
What?
Did it get a laugh?
No, it was like,
What's going on?
and I went off. I have to get in. It was.
You're in safe
awful.
hands.
You're in safe hands here, mate. You no need to worry.
You can watch the rest of this episode on UK TV Play. And now for some extra stories that didn't make the show.
But what happened to him on stage that he ends up getting a tank? I mean, what unfortunate experiences.
He likes
Some a bit of a petrol head.
He's got
What's your real car?
What?
What's your real car?
What?
Or is it a
what?
bike?
I've got a selection.
No, but if you're going down...
No, I'll tell you what I've got. I've got a Land Rover Defender that I've had done up, so it's like, it looks like the sort of thing if there's a zombie apocalypse. Essentially, that's what I'm preparing for. I'm preparing for the. So I've got this Land Rover Defender, and it's got this big body kit and a big industrial front on it. And I brought it up to London recently, and there's only one hotel. What?
It's like my 3-year-old boy who lines all his cars up on the rug and says, "Look how many I've got!" And then he goes, 1, 3, 6, 7, like this.
We had this.
I've coloured this one in, I've painted this one.
But
He hasn't said how many he's got.
I brought the zombie Land Rover, and it properly. You drive along, it looks like this sort of futuristic thing.
Has he got a slip?
Not far off, actually.
Does your land look like Mad Max?
Yes, it looks exactly. That's exactly what it's
Like
like.
the bloke who won the pools and moved in.
Yes.
Not the pools. He won the lottery.
the
Do you remember?
lottery.
And they had the lottery.
Yeah.
And he was in the Daily Express for about
In other
48
words, it's
years.
a lot of watching metal.
And
No,
then spent it
not at all. No, I sort of if I've got anything that needs burying, I'll just bury it with a
We
JCB.
had a Land Rover. My partner had a
You
Land
got a
Rover. I
JCB?
just sold
Of course,
it.
I've got a JCB.
I just sold it
Do you
before.
dance with your
He
JCB?
sold his car.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
broken off.
Been in the driveway 2 years.
Was he aware?
Yeah, I rang him up. I said, "I'm sorry that car's been in the driveway 2 years. We had a Land Rover Defender. I just flogged it for 450 quid. I couldn't stand the sight of it.
Why didn't he
taken.
take it away?
Couldn't drive it. And I went in it twice. They're horrible. They're like blokes' cars. No woman would go in that car ever. That must be why you've got it. Because they're so uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I don't want my wife or 2 daughters.
I bet your wife's not saying, "Oh my goodness, let's go down to Tesco in the Defender."
No, I'll tell you what. It's my car now, but I convinced she was the one that originally went, "Let's get the Defender," but then it doesn't fit in any multi-storey car parks. So we had to find a smaller car that would fit. But the point is, I brought it up to London and I parked it outside because you can't park it in, normal car parks. So I had to stay in a hotel that had an outdoor car park. So I booked into this rather posh hotel and parked the zombie mobile outside, right? I was in the hotel room, and then there's a phone call. Hello, that's concierge here, Mr. Noble. We have a SWAT team downstairs. Now I realise it looks like the sort of thing that, for the apocalypse, but I didn't realise it would be taken quite that seriously. So it's got a future military look about it. And so I get on the phone, and this guy goes, "This is Officer such and such. We've had a report that your vehicle has got a cache of weapons in the back." And I went, "Right, hang on. Don't blow it up. I'll be down." Right? So I put the phone down. And I come downstairs and I walk out, and I'm not exaggerating, there's a vehicle there, and there are police with machine guns and they're surrounding the car, and I go, whoa, let me just and I sort of...
Tell you which out.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Luckily, I don't have a terrorist vibe about me, and I was able to save them.
Get off my land!
And so I said to the I said, "Look, let me open the car up, and you can see the cache of weapons, right?" So I didn't say that, obviously. You want to see them? I've got a compound ball, but you're not having it. Ball's having it. So it's reserved for ball. So I opened the back of the car up, right, and the thing that I was under suspicion for was because myself and my female family were off to Wales, right? All our welly boots were lined up in the back of the car, and because the way they were lined up, they sort of looked a bit like guns. And the little one, the 1-year-old, she's got little ones, so they look like pistols all lined up. And I opened the back up, and I was very nearly shot.
So
for
someone
having
had
welly
seen him
boots
and then said,
and just got
into a panic. A member of the public or a serving officer of
tinted windows, clearly looking in to see what it was, and then saw them all lined
To be
up.
fair, they could have been Wellington bombers.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's
And that's all for tonight.
Can't top that. Tony Bennett, though, I once saw Tony Bennett lost and confused in front of a nativity scene. That was a fun after, yes. I went to the Radio City Music Hall Christmas extravaganza.
Yeah, where they have the camels on the stage.
Yeah, and they bring the full...
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I just thought it was some...
New York.
In New York City. And I thought it was, American Tiller Girls. That's what I thought. And they came out, and at the end, live comes, and Jesus was born in a stable.
In Manhattan.
And yeah, and it's, and God spoke unto the people, and the wise men came, and out, and there's goats and sheep, and this and Jesus lived, and all we hear is this guy going, "Where's my family? Where's my family? I can't find my family. Where's my family?" And I'm going, "Oh, man, I'm trying to get the majesty of the Lord. Where's my family?" And then everyone starts going, "Oh my God, it's Tony Bennett. It's Tony Bennett. It's Tony Bennett." And at first I thought they were saying it's Tony Benn, and I thought, well, come on. And it's Tony, "Where's my family?" And he's such a big star. And, in New York, if Tony Bennett says something, he expects people. So there's people turning away from Jesus, and his family are like, he's like, "Where's my family? I need my family."
Well, baby Jesus is just
And he just stumbled around in the
So he was
town.
in the auditorium looking for his...
Yeah, he'd been watching the show, and he'd obviously gone out for a piss. And
they'd hidden.
He'd come back and they were hiding. And you'd think with the light of our Lord and Saviour being born, he'd be able to find. And then, he found his family. He was like, "Come on, we're going." And so I don't know whether he's just, he's not religious anymore. But Tony Bennett stumbling around in the dark.
When I saw that show, Ross, didn't you wonder where the camels go when they're not on stage?
Very good
You're
point.
at Radio City
Yeah.
in downtown. Like, where do they go?
There's underneath the stage. There's a whole animal pen, an animal area that
Is
they
there?
all put them down in. And
Do you have that in your musicals too?
No, but
Have you performed there?
I've performed in New York, obviously, but not in Radio City Musical. But I've been there, and I saw Aretha Franklin there as well. But
In the pen, in the animal. Have some respect for me.